Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, MegaCrasher is here, and I welcome you guys back to our revamped series known as Pokemon Reviews. But these are just going to be old, plain, boring-ass Pokemon reviews. Oh, hell to the no! These are going to be crazy Pokemon reviews with MegaCrasher. So with that being said, my friends, strap yourselves in, because this series is going to be hype! In this video here, we are going to be reviewing Amoonguss, and Amoonguss is an amazing Pokemon that is actually now a full-time OU Pokemon, and rightfully so, in my opinion. So with that being said, my friends, we are going to be going over Amoonguss when it comes to things like its typing, ability, stats, sets you can use, the whole 9 yards. So with that being said, my friends, strap yourselves in. And let's get into it! Alright, let's get into the review of Amoonguss. So the first thing that we're going to go over is its typing. It is that of grass and poison, and it's a pretty awesome typing, especially defensively, because get this, you have a 4 times resistance to grass, and you have a 2 times resistance to the likes of electric, berry, fighting, and water. That's a pretty nice set of resistances, as it allows for you to check and counter a wide variety of Pokemon in the OU tier, such as Amoonguss, such as Keldeo, and it's really, really awesome. However, something that is not so awesome would happen to be its weaknesses, that being to fire, flying, ice, and psychic. Now, although these weaknesses are very exploitable, if you slap on a Heatran to partner with Amoonguss, those weaknesses get eaten alive. So, if you know how to build a team around Amoonguss, then you don't have to worry about those weaknesses as much. As for the abilities, the first ability that we have is going to come in the form of Effect Spore. Now, Effect Spore is a pretty decent ability, I will say, because what this does is whenever an opponent comes in contact with you, they have a 30% chance of either being put to sleep, poisoned, or paralyzed. So that right there can definitely play some mind games, but this pales in comparison to its other ability, Regenerator. Regenerator is such a broken ability in my opinion, because what this does is every time you switch out and switch back in, you have 1/3 of your health restored. Just like that. And this Pokemon, along with the likes of Slowbro and Tornadus Therian, can easily abuse the Regenerator ability and form a very fearsome Regenerator core, which is so tough to break. And part of how this Pokemon is tough to break is in the stats. That base 114 HP, woo! Shit, man! That is so crazy! And its attack and special attack are pretty decent at both are at base 85 apiece. We also have base 70 defense and base 80 special defense, which are both, they're okay. They're not the best, but with 114 HP, those defenses are deceptively good. And that base speed 30 is garbage. It is absolute garbage. It's not going to be outspeeding very many Pokemon anytime soon, but that's okay, because this Pokemon isn't exactly meant to be a speedy Pokemon that sweeps entire teams. This is meant to be a slow and bulky Pokemon that annoys the shit out of teams and will more often than not rage quit because they can't beat the damn mushroom. So with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and move on to the first set that I have for you here. Alright, let's get into the first set, and this first set is meant to be a defensive pivot that is just meant to not only scout and take hits, but also be extremely annoying and very, very threatening in the fact that this thing has access to a move that will put your opponents to sleep, and it's 100% accurate too. But I'll get into that shortly. The item of choice for Amoonguss comes in the form of Black Sludge, which is essentially a poison-type version of Leftovers, and please note that any Pokemon that is not a poison type gets Black Sludge, they will actually be losing health, not restoring it. Which, fun fact, also scares away Pokemon that want to try and use Trick on Amoonguss, because they will be having the possession of Black Sludge, and they will be hurting in the process. The ability comes in the form of Regenerator. Regenerator, like I said, an amazing and broken as hell ability, and this is what makes Amoonguss shine even more as a pivot that switches in, switches out, because this Pokemon can switch in, scout, put something to sleep, switch out, and get health back if it takes damage. Absolutely amazing. As for the EV spread, we're going to go for 248 EVs into its HP, 168 into defense, 92 in special defense with the bold nature. Now the reason for the 92 in the special defense is so that you will avoid being 2-hit KO'd by Choice Specs Keldeo using Icy Wind. The 168 defense EVs is so that you will be able to better check and counter any physical threats such as Mega Altaria, Mega Lopunny, Azumarill, just to name a few. And the 248 EVs into its HP allows for you to have an odd HP number so that you will be taking less damage from entry hazards every time you switch in. As for the first move, we're going to be going with Spore because Spore is a 100% accurate move that puts your opponents to sleep, barring any Pokemon that has Insomnia or any Pokemon that happens to be a Grass type or has Overcoat. This is a move that is just absolutely insane, and it always hits. It's 100% accurate, and when you put something to sleep, that allows for you to have the advantage on your side, and Amoonguss can either switch out or cause even more shenanigans with the moveset that it has. The next move that we got is going to come in the form of Giga Drain. Giga Drain is a very good stab move that half the damage you inflict gets turned into health restoration, which allows for Amoonguss to have more longevity, and especially if it's a super effective hit, thanks to Giga Drain, you're going to be gaining back a lot of health. So that means that any Mega Swamperts, any Gastrodons, any Tyrantars, pretty much any ground-type Pokemon that's going to take any serious damage from Giga Drain, Amoonguss is going to be stealing back a lot of health. Now the next move that I have, it's really a toss-up. We have Clear Smog here as a base 50 power move that erases any stat changes that your opponents make, which is a really good way to ruin any setup that your opponent has, whether it's a Calm Mind Clefable or if it's Contrary Superior using Leaf Storm trying to get the special attack boosting. Clear Smog is just such an amazing move because it ruins any setup strategies. Now, if you don't want that, we also have Sludge Bomb, which is a very powerful base 90 poison type move that has a 30% chance to poison your opponents, which is just absolutely amazing. But it's really up to you. Do you want to have more utility in the sense that you are going to be ruining any potential setup that your opponent has? Or do you want to have more power with Sludge Bomb so that you'll be able to damage Fairy-type Pokemon with more power? It's really up to you. And the last move that we have is, again, another toss-up. We can have HP Fire so that you will be able to take on any Scizors, any Mega Scizors, any Ferrothorns. We have Synthesis as it allows for you to restore 50% of your maximum health. Although, this right here is a very, very small option, because I think it'd be pretty good with Black Sludge, Regenerator, and Giga Drain by itself when it comes to health restoration. So, that might not be the best option, but I put it in there just in case. And then the last move, we have Foul Play. Foul Play punishes heavy physical attack hitters, such as Landorus Therian, such as Mega Metagross, and super effectively too, I might add, because it's a Dark-type move, and Mega Metagross is part Psychic. So this will be a great way to really surprise and put the pressure on any heavy physical hitters. So that right there is what's going to conclude the first set. Let's get into the next one. Okay, are you guys ready for some doubles action with Amoonguss? Amoonguss is without a doubt one of the best doubles Pokemon there is in Smogon Doubles OU. Like the whole of doubles battles. This is absolutely amazing. And I'm about to break it down like this, yo. Okay, so Amoonguss has two options for item use. You can use Rocky Helmet to chip away at any Pokemon that makes physical contact with you, which is very, very awesome as it adds more annoyance to Amoonguss. Or you can use Citrus Berry to allow for you to restore 25% of your health when you get knocked down below 50%. Both of these items hold very high merit. It depends on what you look for. Do you want to have more utility in the way that you deter physical attackers from attacking Amoonguss? Or would you like to have more health restoration and longevity with Citrus Berry? It's really up to you. The ability, once again, is going to come in the form of Regenerator. And Regenerator is what adds to Amoonguss's really awesome viability in Doubles OU. Because whenever you switch out, as I've stated previously, you restore back 1/3 of your health, which almost you might think that you don't need Citrus Berry, and if that's the case, if you want to go nuts and go with Rocky Helmet with Regenerator, that's entirely up to you. As for the EV spread, we have 252 EVs into the HP, 172 into defense, and 84 into special defense. 84 in special defense allows for you to take hits from Kieran Black's Ice Beam. However, we have 172 defense EV specifically so that you will always survive a Zen Headbutt from a Tough Claws boosted Jolly Mega Metagross, which is an amazing feature to have for Amoonguss. We're also going to be going with a relaxed nature so that you will be able to actually be very fast under the effects of Trick Room, whether your opponent sets up Trick Room or if you are on a Trick Room team. As for the first move that we've got, we're going to be going with Spore again, because the ability to put something to sleep with 100% perfect accuracy is just too good to pass up. The next move that we got is going to come in the form of Giga Drain, so that you will be able to restore any health that you get in terms of damaging your opponents, especially if they're super effective hits. As I've stated before, half the damage you inflict gets turned into health restoration, which is amazing. And something else that's amazing about this Pokemon is the next move, Rage Powder. Rage Powder, oh my god. And this is what adds on to the Rocky Helmet shenanigans, because what Rage Powder does is it directs the opponent's attention onto Amoonguss, and they have no choice but to attack Amoonguss. And especially if it's a contact move, they are going to be hurting thanks to the recoil from Rocky Helmet. And what Rage Powder makes it even more better is the fact that this allows for your opponent to potentially set up without taking any damage. And the last move that we got is going to come in the form of Protect, because Protect is a staple in doubles OU, or any doubles battle for that matter, whether it's VGC or doubles OU. Protect, you will almost guarantee to find on any Pokemon in doubles battles. Like, this move is amazing. It allows for you to scout out what your opponents are going to do, while it also allows for your opponent to support you if they happen to play a supportive role. Of course, anytime that you are in a doubles battle, whether you're offensive or defensive, you almost count on your opponents every time not your opponents, your partners, excuse me, in order for you to pull off the absolute best sort of results that is possible in doubles battle. So that right there is going to cap off this set. It's time to move on to the next one. Okay, so the third set that we have going on here is actually a VGC Amoonguss. Now, although that metagame is also doubles as well as doubles OU, they're actually completely different, because VGC 2016 allows for you to use primal Pokemon, as well as the likes of Mega Rayquaza, Giratina, all that stuff, things that doubles OU have banned. So that's why this set's coming out as well, just to be able to give you guys a little more perspective as to what the difference is between doubles OU Amoonguss and VGC 2016 Amoonguss. So with this set right here, for the item of choice, you can go for something like a Mental Herb or a Lumberry. I prefer the option of Mental Herb. That way, if you were to get taunted, Mental Herb will kick in and remove the effects of taunt, so that way you're not completely shut down from supporting your team. However, Lumberry is good, so that way it'll cure the likes of paralysis, burns, sleeps, and also the occasional freeze as well, which can be very, very annoying. As for the ability, we're going to be going once again with Regenerator. Do I even have to say why? Regenerator is a busted as hell ability on Amoonguss. It is awesome. I'm going to leave it at that. As for the EV spread, we got 244 EVs onto the HP, 60 in defense and 204 in special defense. The 204 special defense allows for you to check and counter the likes of Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, as well as Xerneas. The 60 defense on top of its base of 244 HP EVs allows for you to survive a double edge from a Jolly Mega Kangaskhan, which is a very, very incredible thing to brag about in VGC 2016. We're going to be going with a Sassy Nature too. Same reasoning as for the last set. You want to be as slow as possible to be able to counter out and annoy any Pokemon that relies on Trick Room to win battles. And also, if you happen to use this Pokemon in a Trick Room team, it'll be very, very fast. As for the first move that we got, is going to be Spore. Same reasons as before, allows for you to put something to sleep with perfect accuracy. The next move that we have is going to come in the form of Grass Knot. Now, Grass Knot is a very, very awesome move in VGC 2016, considering that there's a lot of heavy set Pokemon, like Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, Xerneas, the really big, colossal Pokemon. And what Grass Knot does is it damages the opponents according to how much they weigh. Now just think about that for a second. Think about how much the likes of Primal Groudon weigh. They weigh a lot. So Grass Knot is going to be doing a lot of damage. Now the last two moves are the same reasons why we have in the last set Rage Powder, Protect. Rage Powder to direct the attention of the opponents to you, allowing for your opponent to set up. Say if it's Xerneas as your partner and they want to set up a Geomancy, it is absolutely perfect. And Protect, same reason as before, allows for you to scout out on what your opponents are going to do next. And that pretty much is what's going to wrap up this set. I got one more set for you, so stay tuned. Okay, so this last set that I made up, it is a very, very gimmicky set. It is a set that not a lot of people would even think about, at least not to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but this set right here is not only just for laughs, but it's also a form of experimentation as well. Just check me out on this. So Amoonguss is going to have the Assault Vest as an item, and what this does is it boosts your special defense by 50% while locking you into attacking moves only. Now, this right here allows for Amoonguss to be even more of an amazing check/counter to the likes of special attackers, to the likes of water types that rely on special attacks, things like that. The ability, once again, is going to be Regenerator. As for the EV spread, 248 EVs are going to go into its HP, 252 into special attack, and 8 into special defense. Now, what this does is it allows for Amoonguss to be somewhat of a decent offensive pivot, as well as being somewhat defensive too, in the regards of Assault Vest boosting your special defense by 50%. We'll also be going with the Modest Nature too to boost up its special attack, fully invested, to a respectable 295 special attack. The first move that we got is going to come in the form of Giga Drain. Giga Drain is not only really good stab for Amoonguss, but half the damage that you inflict gets converted into health restoration, as I have said before. The next move that we have is going to come in the form of Sludge Bomb, which punishes Fairy-type Pokemon, as well as other bulky grass types as well. The next move that we got is going to come in the form of Foul Play, which is a very nasty surprise for any physical attackers that want to come in and try to beat on the Mushroom, such as Landorus Therian, such as Mega Charizard X, or any Pokemon that is a physical heavy hitter that likes to set up in your face. Now the last move slot, it's really up to you. We have Clear Smog as option 1, as it allows for you to erase any stat changes that your opponent has. So that means that any Calm Mind, Clefable, any Superior that is at like +4 for contrary boosts, Clear Smog erases all of that, which is very annoying and would definitely put a big halt on any team that relies on setup in order to win the game. Now we also have Hidden Power Fire as an option, so that you won't be completely walled out by the likes of Ferrothorn, by the likes of Scizor, Mega Scizor. Pokemon like that definitely will be left hurting big time with a 4-time super effective Hidden Power Fire from a Modest Nature offensive Amoonguss just like that. And that right there is what's going to conclude this set and conclude this video. So I will say that if you enjoyed this video, make sure you fire off a like. Let's see if we can start out with a reasonable like goal of 12 likes. And if you want more content like this, make sure you rate, comment, share this video, and subscribe today to MegaCrasher and the community for the best Pokemon Sun and Moon news hype that there is today. Woo! Because you already know the deal by now, my friends. When we're Community Titan Packing Titan is one, you know that we shine brighter than the sun and the moon combined. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next upload!